Hari Om to all Atma Jyotis. Let us start this session with opening prayers. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam, Tattvadam Darshitam Yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamaramбhaं Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Sadashivasamaramбhaं Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. So, this is to make Bharti ji comfortable as to what we are dealing with. Let us just have some revision or maybe the surface level understanding of what Tattvabodha is, so that we can also have a brief recollection of what has already been done, and then how to go about further. Each of us can take and contribute what we have learned and share it with Bharti ji. So that can be done down the line. So why the first text of any spiritual growth has to be Tattvabodha? Is there anybody who can answer? If you feel you are not confident, you can just tell me. I will take the chance of answering. Why or what is the purpose of Tattvabodha? Why is it the foundational text? Jai Shri ji, Vaishnavi ji, Bharati ji. We have two Bharati and Bharatish ji.
Hari Om, ma'am.
Hari Om, Bharatish.
I know a little bit about that. That means it has a basic qualification, sadhana chatushtaya, and this is the qualification which is need for a aspirant, mumukshu, and it talks about that, and it's also deals with all the how about our karmendriya, gyanendriya, basic. What are the base structures, then all the koshas. It talks about everything, so that its anatomy will study the anatomy first, and then it's and also how mind works, how is buddhi, everything, how it works. It completely talks about all the aspects of a jiva, and also talks about Brahman and Atman, everything. So it gives primary foundation to the vedantic study.
Yes, very well answered. Vaishnavi ji, do you want to add something to that?
Ma'am, any study requires the preparation of the student's mind, and that comes with a lot of discipline, and you cannot establish any form of knowledge without the mind being free from any disturbances and influences. So to keep that clean slate before doing any kind of knowledge building towards self-realization, it also teaches about the means along with the goals that must be achieved in the path. So as sir mentioned, it talks about the sadhana chatushtaya. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampati, Mumukshu, and all of these as the means to reach there. So, which is why this very deservingly becomes the first text. Truth is one, but for any student to prepare his mind, there are certain rules You cannot achieve something without being eligible for it, and this helps you to gain that eligibility.
So rules or eligibility means that there are only set of people, like for your position IAS has to be passed, something like that, or being a teacher a B.Ed has to be passed. So
No,
is there eligibility for this learning?
See, you will realize something that is already there only when you want to. If you, it is not something that you have to put an effort to build and then see the result of it. This is something that you already have, and you need a guru to make yourself realize that. Uh, Eligibility in the sense that you need to yearn for it, that desire to reach there must be there, and that is the primary eligibility, and that truthful nature of really trying to be at it and achieve it with the discipline. You can everybody is eligible, you just have to polish yourself to reach there, and this helps you to find ways to reach there, ma'am.
Correct. So there are certain disciplines you said that needs to be followed. Is it okay? What it is? Discipline means what? Because Bhartish ji is very new to this, so that is why each word that is being used, Bhartish ji, whatever he said, I couldn't directly reach there because you are speaking so that she can understand. That's why I'm questioning. Hope you
Yes, ma'am.
understand.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So when discipline, which means that you cannot have a mind running in all directions, focus on anything. So you need to know what you must be attached to, what you must be detached from. You need to know how to control your, see, the whole body and your mind are the tools to reach. And without having any exercising control over them, you cannot set forth on a path. So this teaches you how you have to use your mind, how you have to control your sense organs, how you have to understand the various vagaries of the natural mind, that the mind is predisposed to being driven and drawn to different directions. So you need to know that you are prone to all this so that you can control, and you need to have the forever dying desire for mumukshu. Without the desire in mind, you cannot pursue a long term journey of this. So that way, a certain amount of discipline has to be inculcated, and this teaches you that.
Correct. So what is discipline is taught here. What are all the rules that are to be followed are taught here. But the thing is, these are all not the rules that has to be like, it is not something somebody is there to watch you and make you follow. No, it is an internal one. Internal desire, as you said, it is an internal desire. The intensity of the desire to be away from suffering and to be one with or to be unison with the Brahman and to have peace of mind. So we may not know what Brahman is, we may not know who I am, but what is it that why have I come to this AVSC class? I might get something to hold on strongly, depend on. So that is the reason I have come. I don't know anything about Vedanta, but still I'm interested. Why? That also I'm not sure, but I'm interested. So what makes me join here is nothing but there is something that I can gain. What is that? To be happy, to be away from suffering, but not escaping the suffering. To be an observer for the suffering and be in the life happily enjoying. Jayashriji, do you want to add something to this?
No, madam.
Why Tattvabodha we must
Madam.
study?
No, madam.
Okay, that's okay. So as they both have said enough, why we need some text to follow is to discipline our mind. What is the Vedanta? That must be learned. So how the rules are to be followed, what are rules? All this can be known. Bharti ji, can you just let us know as to what is your background? Do you have any background with the Vedanta, or is it fresh that you have come here?
Bhagini, I am learning Veda.
Yeah.
And little exposed to all these spiritual discourses. I have been initiated by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.
Ramakrishna Math.
Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Math. Ramakrishna Math. When I was very young. That was in my 10th standard. That's it.
So, any texts that you have studied, any scriptures you have studied, or maybe some discourses that you've heard?
Yeah, I will be hearing all the discourses. Reading is very less. I am used to hear the discourses.
Like what type of discourses?
Subraya Sharma's Vedantas. Every day I hear that morning.
On what topic?
Online now.
No,
now
topic?
he's doing Sugama. Adi Shankaracharya's written and translated by Sachidananda Saraswati.
Okay.
And
So,
then Veda class by Murali Sharma. Rudra and those things.
Okay, okay. So, you know the rules that are to be followed for reciting Vedas, Veda mantras. So, how much rules are there? But here, how it is, that can be known easily by you. Maybe you have been undergoing the other texts of Adi Shankaracharya also, but this is the basic text, so that any layman who has no exposure to whatever, be it Vedanta or spirituality as such, so they can get the benefit. What is the essential need for any human being is to attain self-realization. So what is self-realization? Jai Shri Ji.
ಸಾರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ எனக்கு.
ಹೌದಾ? ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Okay.
To know who am I is self-realization.
So what is who am I?
I am Brahman.
I am Brahman. So that is self-realization. So why is it called a realization?
To keep away from all these worldly matters.
To keep away from worldly matters. Okay. So after keeping away from the worldly matters, what happens?
Then we realize that this body is not permanent, and then there's something else which is there, Tattvabodha. And we have to leave this world without any rebirths. That should be our goal of.
So escaping the samsara. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That must be escaped.
Yes.
So you have come to the point. We can go faster now because you brought in who am I. That's more than enough. So Vaishnavi ji and Bharti ji, both of you can add your own views on who am I. Bharti ji, you can go first.
Can you repeat
Vaishnavi ji.
that, ma'am?
what do you understand from who am I that she said?
That we are beyond the body, we are beyond our intelligence. There is, it is beyond anything that physically defines us, and which is always there, with whether we exist or not. But then it is a realization that we are looking at. Uh, uh, Prabhuji in one of his talks mentions that this lady, she's wearing a necklace, but she doesn't understand. She's searching for it, and then she realizes that it is already on her. And while she was searching the whole world for it, when it is already there on her. So it is that moment of realization. There is no um, external effort like building a house or investing money, waiting for a long time for the results to show up. It is a moment of realization that you are the Brahman, and that which brings extreme happiness and permanent happiness. And there is nothing that will ever give you joy more than that. There is nothing physical that can give you joy more than that. And this discovery is what we are going through. Even if it's a momentary realization, the journey up till there is the hurdle, is filled with hurdles. So which is why you need a guru, and which is why they talk about the sadhana chatushtaya in the book.
Very well said. Bharatishi, you can add your views.
Ma'am, according to Ramana Maharshi, it is said that we can know who I am through self-inquiry, one method, and second one is by surrendering. Ramana Maharshi gives two paths. Either we have to surrender or we have to inquiry, and this is a Gnana Marga. Inquiring is a Gnana Marga, and we attain moksha through Gnana only. Karma yoga will leads to purification, chitta shuddhi, but we'll attain moksha through Gnana only. What Gnana means? Light. Where there is light, and I am that light, and we are in the darkness. Darkness means we are in the avidya. We have a avidya, that wrong perception that I am this body, I am this jiva. Realization means, self-realization means I am not this body, I am not this instruments, I am that light. And being aware of that light, I am that self, I am that light. In order to understand and in order to get into that awareness, we need to have a self-inquiry. It is the path given by Ramana Maharshi. It is the easiest way of getting into the self. Hence, it is called self-realization. And the method called is inquiry. Who I am. That's it.
Very well said. Both of you said very well. So, who am I? As pointed out by Bharatish ji, is nothing but the easiest path. And as he rightly said, the surrendering and the self-inquiry. What is self-inquiry? Is nothing but I am assuming that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. That means my thinking is in such a way that I am directing myself to the outer world. How to take it in, going inward, is what is self-inquiry. That means to say that, how should I go in? What is to be done? Why should I go in? Because I'm not getting happiness, permanent happiness. I might get happiness. Say, if at all I am very fond of some very good result after putting some effort. So I am waiting for a very good result. And if I get very good result, I am happy. But how long? For a short period of time. Then I forget about it. If at all I don't get an expected result, I get very bad result, then I am unhappy. So that is a little more than what I would have enjoyed the happiness. So I stick on to the suffering or unhappiness more than how much time I give to happiness. So how to come out of both of this? By being a witness. So we bring in the concept of witness or an observer here. So we cannot directly go and be as self or Atman. So what is Atman is also, it must be understood. What is Atma? What is Paramatma? What is Brahman? The relationship between them, all those are dealt with Tattvabodha. So how can these be done is through, as it has been told by both of them, the sadhana chatushtaya. So these are all the practical ways of applying it on to ourselves and lead life. Vedanta or all the spiritual learnings or knowledge is not to stay away from the normal life and just do sadhana. Being in the samsara, being in the family, how we have to deal with our internal world we have. We have so much of self-talk that will keep happening. Always, always. So how can you silence that? It's not the outer world that you'll be silencing, but how can you silence the inner world and be peaceful always? So the first level is to be the witness. So for self-realization, it is nothing but I am already the self, I am already the Atma, I am not aware of it. So when I am Atma, why is it that I am not aware? Because of what is the cause of or the obstacle for me to know that I am Atman? Any one of you can answer.
Is it avidya, ma'am?
Avidya. So what is avidya? Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Avidya.
Means wrong understanding about oneself.
Okay. So now that I think that I am Atma,
Yes.
have I come out of ignorance? Have I come out of avidya?
It's an intellectual understanding, but it has to be practical, internalized. It has to be converted into wisdom. It has to be deepen in our own self through sadhana. Then only it will.
So through sadhana, what is it that you're bringing down? What is the obstacle, main obstacle?
Main obstacle, this arishadvarga, impurity of mind. That this impurity will make us that leads to likes and dislikes.
Correct.
And based on that, we keep on interacting with the world. And by that, we'll have a karma pala. And if it is that karma pala is keep on adding, it is growing. And it is a good karma if it is elevating our, it is leading to a mental purification, then obviously we'll get into this path. Suppose if it is morely related to worldly things, then we are more into the ignorant part.
Okay. So, as you rightly said, we will be moving into worldly things always, but to bring back or go inward is what we need to understand first. So first we must know that we are in the outer world and there is something that is the inner world and we'll have to go towards that is inward path. That must be practiced basically. These are all practical things that can be discussed because if we are just theoretically understanding, we will not improve in the way we lead our life. So that is why all these practices have to be, it is not that everything can be practiced. Every moment it can be done. At least in a day, once or twice, if I remember that I am the Atman, then there is an improvement in what I was yesterday and what I am today. So that is the improvement that we must see. So Vaishnaviji, what are the blocks for self-realization? Why is it that as soon as I know theoretically that I am the Atman, why is it that I am not getting realized? I am not liberated.
There is a lot of attachment with the physical world through your senses. Even if you know this uh, by in black and white, but the fact that every time you are still at every second and every moment you're still playing some role, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter. There are certain things that have draw you in all directions as part of your responsibilities, as part of your role, as part of your desires. So physical attraction and attachment to all these worldly things is one of the very primary impediments, because it drains your energy and your focus. And this mumukshu that it talks about is not fully realized if you are drawn in all directions. One is physical attachment. Another is that sometimes you do not know the internal struggles that you go through. To come back to a balance, you will need a guru, and without the hand holding of through a guru, you cannot surpass all these difficulties. As a layman, you will need the guidance, and that is why certain things you have to learn as part of a guru mukha, knowledge. You may know the facts, but to put that into use and turn it into wisdom, it takes the experience of the guru and your own experience, which is why we need to stay focused on the path. It is easier said than done, but unless the guru keeps reminding you of your goal, it is not easy for somebody in the samsara to achieve that easily.
Yeah, very correctly said. We just get drawn into this outer world. It's only the guru who reminds us that you are the self. You move inward, do self-inquiry, or you surrender completely. So when can we all these happen? Only when a guru reminds us through the knowledge, through the grace. And what is the as you said, I identify myself as a mother, as a daughter. So what is that identity actually?
Ma'am, can you repeat the last part? What is the
You said I am a daughter, or I identify with my identity. I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I am an employee, a government servant. I'm attaching myself to the identity. What is it that is happening there?
which means whatever happens to you, you are defining it through your role. If I'm a mother, I would be worried about my child. If I'm a housewife, I would be worried about whether things at home are going fine or not. So all of that will in turn affect my energy, how I use my sense organs, how I use my mind, and that will lead to a lot of thoughts. So the mind is always going to throw up one or the other thought, and you can never calm it down, and you're always attached to the result of it. You are more focused on the action, and then you're attached to the result. That way, your energy is drawn between the action and the result all through, and then you base your happiness on that, on the result, which may not be to your liking or to your expectation. So again, there is this whole bar graph of ups and downs every moment and every day, because you have decided to detach and attach to different things at different points in time. So the whole the yardstick of your happiness is defined by these roles and expectations.
So who is it that who is experiencing the ups and downs, as you said? Vaishnaviji, to you only.
It
Who is it that who is experiencing the ups and downs, the sufferings and the happiness?
the the body through its mind and ego is experiencing all of these different pains.
Then who is the mother? Who is the daughter?
That is the inner consciousness that tells you that this is what you must be doing at this point in time, and the mind is controlling it, and telling in different parts of the day, it reminds you of your responsibilities. And
So who is basically that who is playing the role?
I
Which I?
in this small I think.
Yeah.
The small I think.
Yes, yes. You need not think, it's correct. So you can explain on that.
Ma'am, can we equate the small I to the ego?
Yes, of course. It is ego.
It
The
is
small
ego.
I is ego.
So the ego has based its worth and value on all of these, on the roles and the results, and it controls the rest of the mind and the energy and the sense organs and the karmendriyas to its whims and fancies. So, it becomes the master controller of whatever that you do and think. And that way, uh, uh, when you're drawn to 100 things in a day, of course,
Who is drawn?
you're the ego.
The ego, the small I.
In the small I, when it is drawn to all these things, then definitely there is nothing, but one thing that can give you happiness may not, it would cease to give you any more happiness in the next moment. So we are all on a slippery slope that way. You do not know what can actually give you happiness, but at the same time you are overworked, you are overthinking, you're stressed, and you are doing everything you possibly can, but at the end of the day you're still not happy.
Who
And
is
which
not
is
happy?
the ego. This you have become Viva was teacher.
No, just to arrive at that.
Reminds me of my medical
Your
college.
college days, is it? Exams.
That way, yes, ma'am. So it becomes, yeah, there is nothing permanent that can actually give you happiness. That way, you are chasing things.
So that means to say that I am identifying myself with the ego.
Yes.
So this is something we forget. That means I should not be identifying myself with the ego. I must be identifying myself with the Atman or the self, the capital I. So then I can always be happy. It is happiness. Satchit Ananda it is. So from there, if I drive my life, I abide in the self and then I work in this whole of the life, the samsara, then nothing will be attached to me. So raga, dvesha doesn't arise at all. So this is where we need a guru or the guidance from his teachings, that how we can understand and have the viveka, where I should work from. Is it from my ego? Should I follow my mind? Or is it something else that I'll have to follow in day-to-day life? Okay, now let me come up with another question. What is mind? Bhartish ji.
Mind is also a made up of panchabhutas, and it is a part of Maya.
Is it made up of panchabhutas?
Yes.
Okay, what is the difference between brain and mind?
Brain is nothing but a hardware, where but brain it functions the physical organs and everything. But mind is like a software which nourishes the entire nervous systems, everything, the thought, everything. Thought, flow of thoughts is nothing but mind.
Correct.
And this will give strength to the nerves and everything, stimulation to body, everything. But its brain is like a hardware. That's
You
what.
can feel touch if you operate, and it's an organ
And
which
organs
can be
and different parts of the brain will perform different actions. Stress part, happiness, anxiety, willpower, everything. Like there's so many parts, prefrontal cortex. So many of the are I don't know the parts exactly the names, but they will perform individual functions. But altogether, that function is, when we talk about function, it comes under the mind part. But
so what is mind?
Mind is nothing but thought.
Thought. So what are
Thoughts.
thoughts?
It's a bundle of thought.
What happens with each thought?
Thought. When there is a thought, there is a mind. When there is no thought, there is no mind.
So what is the basis of each thought?
Each thought, the basis is jiva. Till when we, how long we be in the consciousness of being in the related to this body, we will constantly having thoughts. Atman.
Only when I think of my body, I am in thought. When I don't think of my body, I am not with the thought.
Not in the whatever. When I become extroverted, or when I been identified with these instruments, thought will arise. When I withdraw myself, and when I start focusing and stabilizing myself with the source through self-inquiry or through any means, when I've been focusing more on inward, then the thought will shut down, gradually reduce, the flow of thought reduce, and with the whatever I'm reflecting, it's myself.
So what is the difference between the flow of thought and the self that you said?
Self is nothing but, as we know, ma'am, Sachit Anand. Existence, consciousness, and bliss. Bliss. This is I, capital I. And this capital I associate with this mind, buddhi, and body. It we call it as a jiva. That is small I.
So
jiva, when
the mind and I am. That is the mind and the self. Take up. That means thoughts and I. Thoughts and self. How can you? Now, why I'm asking all this is how I can apply it into my life, everyday life. How I can control my thoughts, how I can understand my thoughts, and be in the self most of the time. Possible.
Ma'am,
daily routine.
Right now, I am getting a thought regarding this is, we suppose I am making a self-inquiry for myself. Now I am questioning myself. When I questioning myself, I think, who is asking this? When I go, who is that knower? When I go deep into this knower also, I am not that. Then who is that? That is something called observer. It is something one which is witnessing whatever the things which is going in my mind, in my intellect. Someone is observing. Who is that observer? When I start questioning that, the thought process will be at the mind level, but something it is observing, which is myself. Something which is going in my mind and intellect, that I am observing. That is, I am watching that. That watch, something it is observing, witnessing. That is me. But that whatever that is going on, coming on, moving on, the thought which is keep on moving, flowing, that it is at the small eye level, and it is in my control. Means that it is keep on flowing. When I keep on identifying with the thoughts, that thought will magnify. I am energizing the thought, so whether it is negative thought or positive thought, that it keep on magnifying, it's multiplying. The moment I just observe that it is a thought, and it is a thought which is coming in the mind, then that separation will be happens. That through viveka, as we are in the previous sessions, we have studied in the 29th, I think so. There, sir has mentioned that through viveka only we can separate the self and the non-self. So by this knowledge continuous study, we'll get the knowledge that this is the self and this is the non-self. And the moment we just relate this thought comes under the non-self, then we can easily handle the situations. Then we can easily handle the whatever happens in the life, we can handle with gracefully through using our intellect. So we are not intellects also, but this knowledge will sharpen our intellect. This intellect will help us to bifurcate the self and the non-self.
Correct. So that means to say, the subject and the object. If I give another term to that, whatever has been explained well by according to Vaishnavi ji and Bharatish ji, I'll bring in another concept which has already been done: the subject and the object.
Yes.
So I am the subject. That is, the Atma is the subject. The object is the outer world. Not only the whatever away from the body is also the outer world, but another part to that is subject, the Atma, the self, the capital I. For that, the body, mind, and intellect is also the outer world or the object. So that level will have to come. See, I'm seeing the laptop, I'm seeing all your names, not the faces, but I am seeing through my eyes. That is an extroverted vision. But if you go inside from the perspective of an Atma, I am seeing this whole, the body, the mind, the thoughts that are coming up. I am observing from where? It is from Atma. So what are thoughts then? We think thoughts has to be controlled. But what are thoughts? Each thought is associated with ego, the small I. Small I. So ego means what? Ahankara. So what is that ahankara? I am talking. Who is talking? I. So I, Kanta is talking. So there, the ego is there. That means to say that I am identifying each of this phrase or each of the thought with myself. I am boasting myself. I am connecting with myself. But that is not permanent. How long can I talk? It will stop. It is temporary. How long can I think? I can keep thinking, but will I be happy? I am stuck to one situation And about that situation, I keep thinking, and it goes on and on and on. Where is an end to that? Until unless I come out of that loop, stand outside and observe, I will not come out of that loop at all. So I need to observe what is happening with the thoughts. Who has to observe? The ego has to be dropped. Then I must come out of that and then observe. So where should I be? I should be in the capital I, or the self, or the Atma. So this is how I must train my mind. This is what the Tattvabodha tells us. What is mind? What is object? What is subject? So be in the subject. So as we see all the objects in the outer world, it may be mouse, it may be pen, it may be book, it may be mobile. All these are objects. But for a subject, that is true self. So for this self, the objects are the body, mind, and intellect. That is what is taught with all this Vedanta. So that means to say that outer world is at that physical level, yes, of course, but with this understanding of the knowledge, go inward and consider these as objects and reside in the self, which is the subject. That is nothing but Atma is the subject, the body, mind, and intellect are the objects. And of course, for us, still we are stepping into Vedanta, we don't know completely. Then these whole external things that we see here, all those are objects. So moving from outside to inside is this. The subject, that is the Atma, viewing the body, mind, and intellect as the object. So that means say that you can be an observer, you can be a witness when you think that the self is the subject, the body, mind, and intellect. The body and mind comes into picture a lot of the times. We can understand easily. Intellect is the decisive part, discriminative part. So for the identification to be removed, what is to be done? You must go a step back and look at things. So this is something, say for example, there is an accident that has happened. If at all a person very close to us has met with an accident, then how do we behave? If at all there is an accident and we don't know anything about that person, we are not related to that person, how do we behave? We are an observer to both. But what is the attachment and what is the detachment? We can easily come to know the difference of how we behave with each thought. Mind is nothing but the thought. With each thought, how I associated my ego I, small I, with each thought. I am talking very well. I am not talking very well. I am convincing somebody. I am not at all convincing. Each is connected with ego. Each is connected with small I. So when we drop those at the thinking level, each thought can be understood when we start to think of what is self and non-self. What is small I, what is capital I. Then the ego, it is the reduction of ego and dissociation from the mind that we can be going inward. So each of our thought, if we take care, say for example, with the same example, the accident example, it is a known person who has met with an accident. I get agitated, I get anxiety, I rush him to the hospital, something like that. But whatever has to happen, even with the other person who is not related to me also, I need to rush him to the hospital. But what is the connection of the emotion there? How it arises? How balanced can I be when I don't know that person? I will have to do my duty, do the immediate action. But here, what is the emotion that arises? Oh, this has happened to him. Oh, it shouldn't have happened. All those thoughts crop up. So, how to be within our own mind, within our own thoughts, how to be a witness to those thoughts? That reduces the ego and that reduces the attachment to each thought. So as the science says, 95% of the thoughts are either repetitive or false. It's not true. So why? Because, say for example, with a known person who has met with the accident, I think what will happen to their children, what will happen to his family people, what if something really bad happens, all those thoughts come. These are all futuristic thought, which is not true. But if at all we think of the past, he was such a nice person, this shouldn't have happened to him. If we think those, that means that we are in the past. But with a person who has met with an accident and I'm a stranger to him, and what happens? What is to be done now? He must be helped. He must be admitted to the hospital. That practical thing will be done. I am not attaching myself there. So this is how we must understand our thoughts in our mind. That means, say, how, if at all you are away from, not getting sucked into the thoughts, if you are away from it, then you can have a balanced, practical action that can be done. Otherwise, we get caught in the raga and dvesha. Or if I don't like the person who has met with an accident, this should have happened to him because he did like this to me. So I is associated so much to that person. So I associate myself with each thought. So each thought is nothing but manifestation of ego. Ego arises, drops, rises, drops, rises, drops. So this is how the sadhana chatushraya, control of the mind, is something that must be done. Okay, sadhana chatushraya, the first one is that. This is how we can train our mind, the senses, it goes outward. The food is very tasty. The smell is so fragrant. And the music so melodious. So all these has to be balanced. It's not that we shouldn't enjoy in our life, but only thing is we should be in a balanced way. So that is what is Tattvabodha all about. How we must understand the body, mind, and intellect. What is Atma? What is Anatma? What is temporary? What is permanent? What is Nitya, Anitya? All these are learned. So when we practically what we can apply now for this next session is that how am I aware of each thought that is arising? How are those thoughts? How is each thought associated with I? If I drop the I, accident happened. Accident happened to my friend. Me, mine, I. And accident happened to that person. What is the difference? I'm neutral, I'm attached or detached. So this is what can be taken care of at the mind level. So the purpose of Tattvabodha is to know the Atma, that is the essential nature, which is permanent and it is the same. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma, aham Brahmasmi. These are the two things. Everything is Brahman. I am also Brahman, is what is taught. But is Brahman, the nature of the world, we must understand. Each of the thing, be it animate or inanimate, that is nothing but Brahman, and the relation between the two, the Brahman and the Atman. So that is what is nothing but it will direct us to the Gnana, that is nothing but self-realization. So this is the surface level introduction to Tattvabodha. There are lots more and in depth also. Maybe 5 minutes we can take turn to tell what is the gist of each of the talk, and then we can go on with the 31st talk in the next session. I think it's 9:30. We can wind up with the closing prayer. Any questions? Bharti ji?
Madam, can you just tell me the gist of this? See, you went on to so many things. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
Yeah. The purpose of Tattvabodha, I will just tell you the 3 points there basically. The Atma, the Brahman, and the relationship between the two, Atman and Brahman. That is, Brahman is the outer world. Each is Brahman.
Okay.
Okay, so that means say that everything is God. Another term I'm using, that's all. Brahman, Atman, God, everything is the same. Okay, self, capital I, all are equivalent words, synonyms. Brahman, Atman, capital I, then God, all these are the same. Okay. So that is what is within me. That is the energy that is making me do this work. The Atma is the force of the light that is giving me the energy to live in this, on this earth. Okay. So this body is not permanent, but Atma is permanent. This body dies, but Atma doesn't die. Okay. So that is permanent and impermanent. That one difference we can know. And here, why is it that we don't understand, though Atma is present everywhere and within us, why we don't understand is we are associating ourselves with the ego. We are masking Atma with the ego. Ego is ahankara, nanu, nandu, aham, mine, my children, my books, my house, I am great, I am a doctor, something like that. So if we drop that, then we can associate ourselves with the Atman. So Atman is permanent. See, in the childhood, you were not a doctor. Now you're a doctor. And later on, when you retire from your profession, you're not a doctor again. Is that permanent? No. So what is permanent? The energy which is making me to work is permanent. The Atma is the one which is giving me the energy to work. So that is permanent. That is making me to work. So what is the obstacle? I am thinking that it is not the Atma, it is I who is working, who is a doctor, who is very successful. So that is what I am thinking, which is not true. Today I am this, but tomorrow I am not that. So ego should be dropped then. When we drop the ego, then we can know the true self. Essential nature of this human being can be understood. Okay. So this is the relationship that is taught through Tattvabodha. Basically, we can easily say that to drop the ego, to not associate with the ego. But how is it possible? So each thought we must give attention so that we can drop the ego. Drop means at least be aware of the ego. Oh, who is singing? That is nothing but self-inquiry. Who is singing very well? Is it you, or is it through the Atma that you're singing? What is the energy source that is making you to sing so well? So that must be understood. That is called the subject, and the singing is the object. I am the instrument through that Atma. That must be thought of. The same things are explained in very different way with many examples, so that we keep forgetting and it keeps reminding us. Okay. So any doubts, you can just ask. Maybe whenever you get, or you can message in the group, or anyway, I have not added you to the group. I'll be adding you to the group. So you can ask any of the doubts that you have.
Okay.
or even in the class also.
Okay.
So
Thank you, madam.
we will wind up with the closing prayer. So thank you all for joining today's session. Maybe what we forget, we'll have to keep reminding ourselves with the basics also. So Bhartiji gave an opportunity for us to go back and maybe revisit what we had already learned. Maybe we even forget. That is the boon given to us, to forget things. So we forget our Atma also. So with this note and with the blessings of Guruji, we could complete this session. Let us end with the prayer. Vaishnaviji, can you do the prayer?
Yes, ma'am. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವ ನಾನು ನಾನೇ ಶಿವೋಹಂ 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 ಲೋಕಾ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು ಲೋಕಾ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು ಲೋಕಾ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು.
Thank you all so much. Hari Om.
Thank you, ma'am.